come a little closer. The dark remembers your name. Moonlight stains the shattered glass. Every shadow lets me pass. Velvet footsteps, silent flame, calling softly through your veins. Every hand they slows for me. Every breath becomes the sea. Close your eyes and lose the light. I'll become your longest night. Feel the silence. Feel it breathe. Every secret lies beneath. Dance with the ghost beneath your skin. Let the darkness pull you in. Sweet surrender, slow descent. Every touch is heaven bent. I'm the whisper in your dreams. Nothing's ever what it seems. When midnight calls your name, you'll never leave the way you came. Black lace woven through the air, cold perfume everywhere. Every promise fades to dust. Every kiss dissolves to rust. I don't need the morning sun. Night has only just begun. Every heartbeat echoes slow into places no one knows. Can you hear me? Between the echoes, behind the silence, inside your soul. Dance with the ghost beneath your skin. Every ending must begin. Close your eyes and drift away. Forever lost inside the grave. I'm the silence after rain.
He turned. You should have seen it. He turned like his forearms got huge. He started like beating people up.
He became a sailor.
That's just horrible. That's just horrible. I swear. Tonight was actually good because like we had so many different conversations. We really did. And it's like
We did.
and you know what's the most amazing thing? You know who shined the most out of all of it? Mark did.
Mr. Robot.
No, Mr. Robot, he
He shined.
he fell asleep. He freaking never came back. He
Nobody charged up his Tesla batteries.
is he even still in the room, man? It's like, my God, where did you go, dude?
Hello. Where he is, wouldn't it be 5 p.m. or half
Yeah, it would be.
6?
It'd be right around. What is it? What time is it now? Like 1 o'clock? It'd be about 3 or 4.
6:33
Hmm.
UTC.
So he did like about maybe 3 or 4. Yeah.
Hope he's okay. He's lying across the keyboard to distract the reach of the mouse.
I tell you what, it was probably a blessing because it's like unhealthy to have V and Mr. Robot in the same freaking chat for too long together. Because like,
Maybe there's a reason behind this then.
Like-
That's not
Cosmic
true.
reason.
The stream between them, which we were
Yeah,
both
that-
on,
that was-
was-
we were gambling with our lives. Okay. It's just letting you know what I mean? It's like I had to keep. Well, when it first started, I wanted to keep Mr. Robot occupied. If he had to ask me the questions, then that means that he'd be occupied and he wouldn't be sitting back in the background coming up with crazy stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? And I knew if it was vice versa, V would be doing the same thing to him.
Oh, I bet.
You know what I mean? So freaking I figured, hold on, dude. Let Mr. Robot interview B, and he did a really good job. I think he did. I think you guys did a really
Yeah, I
good show.
Oh, it's a phenomenal show.
Well, it went. I was very surprised, to be honest with you. It was very, very entertaining. It was good. And
I like being the interviewee, not the interviewer. But
you were the interview.
you got to wear multiple hats in this industry.
You can always interview yourself too. You can be both.
Right.
You know what happens to a guy who wears 2 hats?
What?
He gets beat up. He's a nerd.
I was just saying he has a hat for his other head,
I-
in case it gets hard.
like 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 a dork going to a baseball game. He doesn't know which team he's on, so he just wears both of them. You know what I mean? It's like somebody's gonna hit him. You know what I mean? Just point blank.
Right.
It's like she's done it.
Just don't punch him in the throat, okay?
You gotta have the hat that's one color one side and a different color on the other. And then you just, depending on who you're sitting next to, you just change the hat. Do it one way or the other.
Just promise me you won't punch him in the throat.
Well, I'm gonna stay away from that because
Yeah, that's a good idea.
since I started saying
Wait a
that,
minute.
like all the women are saying mean, horrible things and acting really, really unresponsive towards me.
Yeah, I can see where that might.
It's like you should have heard Sonya the other night. She was just horrible to me, dude. I was like, God damn. I just telling you to, let's not. All I told her was like, you know what? I don't want to hear your freaking life story, dude. I was just telling you to be careful. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
This red pill segment was brought to you by Marlboro cigarettes.
I just all these girls going around. Is Roger looking at my throat? Not just getting a little worried. Backing off a little bit. I thought he looked at my throat there. Wait a minute.
the only reason why I'm bringing all this up is because I'm keeping an eye on the
He's gonna do the
stream.
test. He's gonna do the test.
Yeah. I know how many viewers we got right now, so it's safe to talk about. But
You got to edit this out later.
it's like, my
Oh,
God.
man.
No, I mean seriously, you got to be careful about what you say to women because I said that to her and she's like, "Well, what, Ev?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, man."
That she's 6'7" you?
No, I just told her I was like, now you're out on your own. You need to be careful. You know what I mean? And she goes, "Well, I've been alone all my life," and I said, "You know what? I'm talking about you being stranded on the interstate with freaking nobody there to help you. I'm not talking about you giving me your life story and shit."
No, you 6'7" her.
and she just, I didn't realize I'd said that. You know what I mean? I was like, it finally dawned on me. Like, I probably shouldn't have said that. She's
Brother,
really.
can I say it's been a week, and this talking to you, brother.
I'll tell you, I tried to take a break from the whole streaming thing, you know, and the thing that I learned the most about taking that break is like I was addicted really, really bad to streaming, and like coming back and doing it again, I'm actually enjoying it now because I'm only doing it on one day, you know,
Right?
and it's
Okay, yeah.
And it's like this time I'm starting to realize, like, just enjoy that day. Don't do any live streams for the rest of the week. Edit if you know, stuff like that. But don't get all carried away because I was doing one stream a day on every channel I had, and that's not healthy.
Issue of burnout. Only issue, well, at the moment it's not a major issue, but the only issue I can say is sort of times, as far as I'm concerned, anyway.
What would
But that's not a major issue at this present moment.
I mean, at the moment right now, I'm wanting to like Otto. He just started his show. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that I'm able to stream his, and then Summer said that she wants to do hers more. So that would be cool if she does hers on a while. But like other than that, all I have to do is I have to be responsible for me getting a stream in for myself. You know what I mean? And like right now, what I'm doing now, I'm doing it, just do it on Thursday, get it out of the way.
Right.
You know, I've got these recorded as well as being streamed, so I can go through, make the edits.
Right.
So, I mean, it just,
You can, you can dub in Mr. Robot's voice. He can join in the conversation. Because he got his icon up on the screen.
Yeah.
Just
make it to where he's actually there. Go into AI and do a AI voice of Mr. Robot.
Static on the timeline. Another week. Another headline. Another fire. Let's see who survives this one. London wakes to changing tides. Power shifts while the cameras glide. Every paper prints a brand.
yeah, Mr. Robot. He'd love that. I'm sure.
He would act. He would.
You'd know what to make him say too.
Oh yeah, I'd make him say all the bad stuff. Mr. Robot, I would make
have him admit to voting for Biden in 2020.
yeah.
Oh, you know, I was really actually on Biden supporter. No, that would be too bad.
No, it wouldn't. It would actually be appropriate. You should hear some of the stuff he makes me say with AI. He'll put Darth Vader on there, where Darth Vader says, "Come over to the Force, come over to the dark side." You know, he sends like these little bitty video tracks of me supposedly saying horrible things.
But no one would believe it was you.
Oh no. Like
It's not like he would say things like, you know, punching women in the throat or having a chance to punch a woman in the face in an MMA ring. Nothing at all. You'd never say horrible things like that.
I
You know
actually.
what? I don't know about anybody else here, but you want to talk about diss track? Someone made an entire propaganda a witness stream about how horrible of a person that I or someone else was. They are identities confused, but I'll just say that for legal purposes.
Julio.
Yeah, it was just hilarious because I did run across a small patch of somebodies who were just like, "Hey, you're that guy." What guy? I had to follow the threads back to this video, and I just could do nothing but laugh. Just weird things. Yeah, I'm sorry. Probably that was just apropos.
That was all just code words, man. I didn't understand none of that either.
Code words. Yeah.
Like code words.
I'm sorry. Did I speak too much jargon there for you?
No, it was just anonymous, like all suspicious and shit, like you're a spy and shit. Like
That's for the conspiracy live stream, though, right?
well,
This is the headlines after midnight.
headlines after midnight. I've kind of set it up where we can do whatever we want to with it because it's like a midnight edition, you know. Because
well, you know what? If something's new to me, then that's headlines, right?
well,
there you go.
Iron straight to the head.
You know,
There you go.
midnight.
That's
You know,
telepathy.
what the hell? First of all, what the hell are you doing up at midnight in the first place? You know what I'm saying? It's like anybody who's sitting up at midnight to watch this, ABC or CNN news or whatever, Fox News, they're freaking sick in the brain anyhow. You know what I mean? So when I have to watch like late night news, I like to watch the stuff that's just hang out, have conversation. If something happens or something that's political that you want to talk about pops up, have a conversation about it, you know? I've never like wanted to just watch a news broadcast.
I don't know. As you know, I watch a lot of the Lotus Eaters, and that's all
Wow.
mainly political content on what they do. 2-3 episodes per day.
I'm talking about
I've
late at
seen,
night.
I've seen the Lotus Eaters once in a while. When they do something, I mean, from what I've seen, they tend to be more UK politics, which is natural enough since they're in the UK. But I have caught their stuff once in a while when it's like a more international sort of thing. Because, you know, I mean, with all due respect, I don't understand the minutiae of like, you know, this guy on the back bench said this and that, and then it's an implication of that. I have no idea. I barely can understand American politics. So, you know, the more complicated stuff like that, I tend to buzz by. But I've caught some of their stuff in more general, more international stories once in a while. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they do quite a lot of international, if you want to call it that, international news.
She said start
But yeah,
bouncing
their
and shit.
main focus is the UK because they are UK. They talk about
His head starts shifting forward like a rattlesnake. You know what I mean? He's all primed up because you know what I mean. He gets all excited over the Lotus Eaters and shit.
Well, I don't watch a lot. I don't consume a lot of news. That's the thing. It's very rare, and I just pick up stuff from memes and like talking with you guys, or I go into like the Buddhist Discord and see what's in the current events thing there. or I might see something on Minds, or my wife will tell me about stuff. But she gets her news from whenever I look at what she's watching. It's either the Hindustani Times or Sky News Australia, and a handful of these really wacky YouTube guys, and that's where she gets most of her news, either from India or Australia.
You want to talk about amazing, dude? I was sitting here talking. You remember last week when V flipped out and started calling me a freaking racist piece of shit and said I didn't know anything about fucking nothing and left me.
This is a Jarvis picture, by the
You gotta
way.
check your privilege. man.
Just before he did that, okay? He was talking exactly like Karma. You remember Karma, right?
Oh,
Karma
yeah,
Love,
I think so.
my old co-host, Karma Love.
Okay, yeah, Carmela.
Like
Doesn't it say Harris?
Karma Love, like he started doing this, and I will tell you, and it's like I'm having flashbacks. I'm like, this is
What?
Karma,
Big
dude.
Mama's house?
No,
What?
I was having, well, yeah, I guess you could say Karma was a big mama.
Norbit, don't let me tell you.
Karma, if you upset her, she would whoop your ass, dude. She was a tough girl. You could tell just by looking at her, dude. She knew how to hold herself. So
It's interesting that you point out Australian Sky, because Sky as an overall organisation is known to be quite biased. But Australian Sky, especially, I can think of two commentators on there. They tend to be more objective.
I'm not sure exactly. I look over her shoulder and I see it says Sky News Australia. I have seen the word Sky News Australia sometimes on the screen, but maybe I don't know if that means that it's this specific show or not. And like I said, often she's watching stuff from the Hindustani Times or the Times of India. I think she said to me once she didn't want anything to do with any American news organizations because she didn't trust any of them. So, and it also has to do when she wakes up, because she watches this live stream from Scotland. So she'll actually probably be waking up in the next 10 minutes to half an hour to catch her stream. And so she turns on the news, and obviously there's more headlines coming from places on that side of the planet at this hour, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never actually asked her. And again, I don't really follow the news that much, but you guys tell me what I need to know so I don't have to watch the news. I know Mark Edworthy's going to be watching the Lotus Eaters, and he'll let us know what's up.
to be fair, you know what I wish I could watch more of, and it has nothing to do with these broadcasts, but what I would love to be able to sit down and watch more Ag Day. Farmers reports.
Okay.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Because all these guys are all watching these news reporters and shit like they actually know what the hell they're talking about. You know what I mean? You go to Ag Day and they're going to tell you about the agriculture reports and the stock markets, and you're going to find out about how freaking investors are buying and selling internationally.
Pork bellies. What are pork bellies doing?
Yeah. Well, actually, right now, freaking cattle is having an issue here in the United States. We're actually falling on cattle.
Yeah, actually, I think it was a Telegraph report. Could be I think it was a Telegraph report, a UK Telegraph report, early or late last week, actually.
The Money Machine. Welcome back. Tonight, no talking points, no scripts, just questions about the machine. Another headline, another debate. Brexit echoes across the gate. Power shifts, but does it move? Or is somebody pulling every groove? Labor falls, or so they say. Tomorrow's winner destiny. Everybody's watching, nobody sees who writes the rules behind the scenes. Tell me, who prints tomorrow? Who measures debt? Who purchases sorrow? The numbers climb, the wheels all spin. Everybody crazed to play again. Inside, the money machine. Federal paper, federal name. Everybody thinks they're all the same. Banks make loans from borrowed air. Growing numbers everywhere. 5 comes 10, then 20 more. Debt keeps walking through the door.
Person, credit, interest, control. Follow the ledger if you want to find the store.
Questions answered, questions made. Truth gets buried under trade. Every expert, every show leaves another rabbit hole. The deeper down you choose to see, the stranger reality. Who wants tomorrow? Who counts the cost? Who decides what's gained, what's lost? Round and round, the engine scream. Welcome to the money machine. Next week, we'll ask another question.
Based talking about US cattle, how the market sort of
Dropping.
not doing as good.
And tractors for auction are at the all-time highest now, and it's been rising up for like the last 5-10 years.
Well, that's
that's
not surprising because of all the issues surrounding companies like John Deere.
Yeah,
That's not surprising at all.
it's I mean, and these are even used tractors. Like talking, I mean, they're the auctions or the ones that are selling the used tractors. These are like at an all-time high. And for tractors to be at an all-time high, that's a big issue.
People must be farming. They
Well,
need tractors.
kind of. The way it was explained to me was, or the way I understood it was, land right now is a big commodity.
Right? Yeah.
The farmers are upping the prices on the farmlands for not just for people to own and have their own farms, but they also lease the farms out to other farmers so that
Oh,
they can
yeah,
go in
yeah.
and put, you know what I
I
mean?
know. Yeah, a lot of farmers do that. I know some guys that you lease part of your fields to other guys, like grow grass or whatever.
Hmm. And the prices are going so high on that, and the reason why they're going so high is because the price of the tractors are going up and all of the equipment and everything.
Oh, right.
So It's
Oh, I see.
But-
Yeah, I see what you mean. The prices are being driven by just the inflation and everything else. So
Mhm.
it's
Well,
going to
on
push the
top of-
land rent up.
There's another factor to that. You have all these farms, these crops that are taken over by Monsanto because they set a legal situation to where if a certain percentage of your farmland, if your crops is their product, then they get to take over and own your crops. And so Monsanto just started going seeding farms all across the nation and taking ownership of it.
Mhm.
There's also the crop
Also-
circles.
Also,
Crop
land
circles.
prices. Land prices is always a boom and bust sort of scenario, isn't it? Look at what happened in 2007. So yeah, you might be on high at the moment, but in a couple of years' time, the landscape will probably change completely.
Why it all goes back to Canada. You know what I mean? Because like everybody's talking about China coming over here and buying our land and stuff. And nobody wants to actually do the research and find out that Canada owns the highest percentage of the land here in the United States from a foreign country. Like they're
That's right. And Red China owns
Absolutely.
more Canadian politicians than any other country. So
Mhm.
do the math. Oh.
Yeah.
You know, and we have these egg shortages. You know what I'm saying? Why do we have these egg shortages? It's because Canada is literally manipulating the prices of eggs.
I know 4 people with chickens. So I have no egg shortages.
You know, so
And that's the other half. We should be growing our own food more than we do.
yeah.
I know a lot of people that homestead and people that just have their own gardens. I'd like to get a garden going back here. I tried tomatoes one year, but my yard is too shady. I got this bloody silver maple tree. Never plant a silver maple tree in your yard. They're the worst tree.
You want to hear the crazy thing about my brother?
So,
My brother wants to be a homesteader, right? But the only problem is he wants to get all of his food from UPS.
That's a weird homestead.
Yeah, he wants to buy that condensed shit and that dehydrated foods and stuff. He wants to buy it off
That-
of the
That's
internet.
prepper stuff. I mean, that's good if you can't grow your own, but a homesteader should be producing
Independent.
their own food so they're independent. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was just thinking about that, how there's this farm show, Delscombe Farms, that's in Scotland that my wife watches. And you know, I watch this sometimes and it comes home to you. And of course I worked in I used to work repairing silo unloaders for a while. But when you take on, you know, when you domesticate an animal, you have to recreate their whole ecology. And you're putting them in places that, like, for example, out in the woods or out in the field, they just eating crap. Not a big deal. You put them all in the barn, they all have to eat there, so you have to bring the food to them, and you have to transport all the waste away. And it used to be they just shovel it out in the old days, good old peasant, you know, primitive so-called days. Well, now they hose it down, they hose it out, it makes a slurry, and the slurry gets into the hose. So the hose now need to have vets visit them, right? So you've got to take everything into account. It's amazing. But on the other hand, when you think about how a farmer never has a vacation, I can go on vacation. A farmer goes on vacation, and the whole place will go to hell in like 24 hours. But
Can I add to that?
farmer was creating food for himself every day. Really sustaining ourselves is something that all humans have had to work for every day of their lives, day in,
Listen.
day out, or you don't eat. So this
Otto,
whole
Otto,
idea of being able to order food from UPS, you know, or FedEx, it's very new.
Yeah.
Otto, I want so the pain of the farming, things that I never took into consideration, and that is having to breed the animals.
No, the animals breed themselves. So you don't breed the animals.
Yeah,
Don't get excited.
Well,
you don't breed the animals. Please.
I've seen some stuff that would show you the contrary.
I probably
Ooh.
So
Yeah,
the old
that's-
joke, the old joke when the mummy cow meets a daddy cow.
maybe I landed on the wrong side of the internet. My head hit the keyword. I don't know,
No.
but
you-
You're always
yeah.
talking about the donkey show, so don't get
yeah.
Well, okay. So something else
Think of a
I
second.
found interesting was how, but the animals they get hurt more often than we would think. Because yeah, they're hooves. The horses, the cows. There are doctors and professionals that go in just to carve those things out if they get any infections from cysts from being stabbed through the horn. Well, that's what they call it, the horn, which is the hard stuff that comes out of the foot, right? They have
Mhm.
to carve those things down and fight infections, which
Mhm.
has to be super expensive.
Well, that's the other thing too. The feet, like the surfaces they walk on, are not what they're designed to walk on. The hooves don't wear down properly. They can get sharp edges, and they can
Right.
get infected very easily. And if you've ever kept horses, horses get sick so easy. Everyone I've known that ever had horses, constantly, vet bills and this and that. They're liable to all, glanders, the bots, lung infections and stuff. It's amazing how much you take on yourself and how much work goes into just feeding yourself and hopefully having some extra food to sell. But it's just kind of hit me how most humans, most animals, they go out every day. I see them, they come out in the yard here every morning. They're looking for like birds. Some birds are looking for other birds to eat. And it's really amazing. We've gotten to a point where we can create enough excess that we can have people that don't have to. I'm so glad that all of us here don't have to get up every morning and start grubbing for roots or trying to, hunt something down so we're not hungry today.
Yeah.
We can go to the fridge.
Exactly. My dad, when I was growing up, I was raised mostly on dairy farms. So the one thing I say when it comes to a lot of this is I'm grateful for that, to be honest, because I think a lot of people would have had a healthier life if they grew up on a dairy and they had to be around cattle and see for themselves that, first of all, cattle, they're not treated right ever, not in any situation whatsoever. The nicest thing that's ever done to them is if they decide to put them out in a pasture or put them in a pit barn. The ones in the pasture have area that they can move around in, but the ones in the pit barns, they have like maybe a 60 by 60 foot, pen that they all have to stay in. There's like 30 cows in that pen. People don't know too much about that, and then they don't know that they use electric rods to get them out of the pen so they can milk them.
Oh, cattle prod. Yeah,
Cattle
yeah.
prods,
Thankfully, in the UK, the rules are much more stringent, and I can easily just walk down the road and come across a couple of farms myself. So, let's say within a 7-mile radius from where I am now, I can
Well,
easily.
it's also a matter
Well-
of like they are also like life and death. This is the food that we eat, and like you have to face the fact that in order for that food to be put on your table, this has to be done. You know what I mean? Like, so
What
Yeah,
you were
but
describing,
my-
by the
my
way,
point-
it's called beating up your load. That's what the truckers
my
say.
point being
by the way.
is that all these cows are out in fields in where I am. They're not all.
Well, I've seen when I was, working in the agricultural sector, you would see farms that had the little pens for the veal, for the little calves. So they couldn't move and stay tender. But most of the farms I spent any time on were working dairy farms, and they were not large farms because they had silos.
Raise the signal. Raise the fire. There is no road, only the wire. Iron rivers cross the land, built by weathered human hands, stone by
stars still shine.
Without applause,
The earth keeps turning.
without us.
I built.
We burned. We took. We learned. We reached. Touching sky.
Still we learn to die. When the cities forget our names, the sky still carries living flames. The roads remain, the stones endure. Long after we were cured, build your monuments high above. Time outlives every love. When the last horizon calls, only the echo outlives us all.
The roads remain. The travelers don't.
The sky remembers
What history won't.
And silos are only used on the smaller mom and pop farms. The bigger farms basically go to bunkers, which are a lot cheaper and easier, and it's harder for the hired hand. I mean, a silo, this was back in the like early 90s, maybe mid 90s. Silo was about $10,000 to build, which was a lot of money then, and the silo unloader itself was like another $9,000. So it was a pretty big investment for a farmer. But silos are good only on smaller farms where you don't have as much room for storage. So the farms I was on were generally like 50, 80 cows that weren't, so they would turn them out to pasture and stuff like that, bring them into feed. I didn't see anything too bad, but I remember one of the first farms I went on, we were going in to do a job, and they were just finishing up with the cows eating inside or milk, whatever, and they were getting them out of the barn. And this one cow just couldn't figure out the way to go out. So this farmer goes and he picks up a 2x4 and starts whacking the cow with it, like whack, whack. And the cow just kind of like turns around and looks at him, and looks around and kind of finally lumbers out the gate, and he's whacking it out. And I just look at him. He must have seen the expression on my face. He says, "Well, cows, as we all know, are the most intelligent creatures on God's earth, and this is the way you get them to go." That was about that was like one of my first days. Like, wow, okay, I didn't know this about farming.
Yeah,
It's interesting you said mid-90s, because in Europe, in the UK especially, that's when the sort of organic craze sort of started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This would have had to be early to mid 90s, probably like 93, 94.
Yeah, when everybody
95.
started calling us fat Americans. Yeah, I remember that
there
time.
you go.
yeah. Well, you got to blame that on the French,
Of course,
because
along with everything else.
The
Exactly.
French or the Canadian, it doesn't matter.
well, Canadians, if you really know how to do this, you blame the French, and then like with the Canadians, you just call them cannibals.
I know. The French McDonald's isn't a French company. Burger King isn't a French company.
French fries.
Yeah, actually, okay, Belgian fries, to use the correct, accurate term.
Freedom fries. Remember that?
Yeah. That's it.
Chips, as we call them in the UK.
Dun, 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 dun. remember we had Chips. It was called the TV show back in our day, man.
Okay.
I remember that. John
California.
and Punch. Yeah,
John and
yeah.
Ponch, dude. Everybody
Was
loved
Eric
Ponch.
Estrada. Yeah, did he die of a drug overdose or something? I forget now.
I don't know exactly what happened to
He
him.
looked like he was going to die of a drug overdose. But
Yeah.
I keep remembering that great movie Yellowbeard with Graham Chapman, and it got panned by the critics. It could have been a better film, but there was a great scene with James Mason when they've been shanghaied on board this ship. And it's like, the golden age of piracy. So it's like the 18th century. So, of course, England and France are like trying to kill each other. And they're all like, they've been shanghaied and they're on the ship. And it's the cruel, horrible, rum, whips, and sodomy of the Royal Navy. He's like, well, if you think it's a bit cruel here, remember, our mission is to seek out Her Majesty's enemies wherever they are, meaning the foul and most foreign French. And suddenly everyone's, well, of course, understand now. Whip away.
Yeah, the Corsican bro.
Look, the foul and most foreign French.
Yeah. Like I said, like I've said before, Roger, Britain, the greatest nation on earth.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, Mexicans are quite a bit higher up in rank than what you guys are.
Yeah, but they had King Arthur.
Maybe at this
All right.
Oh, wait, no, King Arthur was
well
from Brittany. Never mind. No, he was Welsh. That's right. King Arthur was Welsh. Hey, wait a minute. Well, that's Britain. That's part of Britain, right?
Well, yeah, that's why I said Britain, not England.
Actually,
yeah.
I think
You know what?
Wales is.
Rain frogs. That's the only frog I like. How about that?
I
Rain
think
frogs. You see them? They're so cute. They screech. They're so fat they can't swim and have these fat little butts on them. They live above ground.
Sounds like a French girl I knew.
sounds like a French girl I knew.
A French girl everybody knew. It was all
Did,
Well.
did your French girl freaking wear any perfume or did she stink?
Did she have
perfume.
hairy- Did
Nature's
she have
perfume.
hairy arms? Yeah.
Yes.
How much? Yeah. So,
Well, I spent a lot of time going out with hippie chicks, so
So did I.
hair was de rigueur.
Oh, so they're hairy then.
It's like I said, I was homeless in LA County, okay? Like, if you didn't date a homeless freaking hippie chick in LA County, dude, something's wrong with you.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's like you go down to Santa Monica, hang out on the beach, and bam, dude, you're gonna get freaking some homeless chick walking back and forth from Venice Beach to Santa Monica. Like they all. That's where everybody hung out with each other.
I suppose they would be nice and vulnerable.
Well, it's not a matter of vulnerability because you're both homeless, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how are you taking advantage? You know what I mean? She ain't got anything more than you do. This might be.
We got to get my buddy Chad on the show. He has some great stories about being homeless and hanging out with homeless girls out in Las Vegas. He lived in a sewer in Las Vegas for a while.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty rough.
Oh, you know what?
That's pretty
God, I
rough.
seen a documentary on the sewer people because there's like an entire sub city underneath Las Vegas.
You know the story behind that,
He
though.
was part of it.
He's
Like-
one of them.
You know,
I would love to talk with this guy.
it's illegal to be homeless in Las Vegas.
It's illegal to be homeless pretty much anywhere in the United
I mean,
States.
literally, if you are caught being homeless in Las Vegas, they can put you in jail.
Yeah.
Well, it's Vegas, man.
Get you off the
they
streets.
keep those streets clean. Yeah, that's for the tourists, dude. You don't fuck with the marks. You don't fuck with not Mark Edworthy, but you don't fuck with the customers.
I agree with V, man. That'd be a good story. Now, I was homeless in LA. I've done visits to Las Vegas, but that wasn't like for permanent. You know what I mean? I went there, came back because it was easy to get back and forth from LA to freaking Las Vegas if you knew what you were doing. But you didn't stay in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? You didn't crash out at night. If you did, freaking, you only did it temporarily and got the hell out.
Right.
You know, because I mean,
Right.
you had balls if you were willing to be homeless in freaking Las Vegas. That's all I gotta say. That's from
Oh, they do that a lot of ritzy towns. I remember when I lived in Buffalo, we went to this. My one buddy, one of my housemates, is like we got to go get pizza from this place. We're all stoned, you know. I was like, all right, we'll go. So we pile into the car, and it was my buddy's car. It didn't have a trunk lid, boot lid, I guess, for you, Mark. And it was like all covered with primer. It was a muscle car, blah, 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 blah. And the back windshield was covered with Grateful Dead stickers. And all of my friends looked like me at the time. So we go down to this place. We pull in there and we order the pizza. We were too stoned to order it ahead of time. We couldn't think of the number. And they're staring at us when we come in. They're all very clean cut. And the cop car comes into the parking lot and just keeps driving around the parking lot. So, we get the pizza, we get in the car, we start driving back a block away from the store. They pull us over. The cop gets out and looks at us and says, "What are you doing here?" And then pointed down the road. "Get out. Don't come back."
Mhm.
And
I
we
know. I got
know
a question for you. If you don't look like your friends, then who are you?
there is that.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Waterloo, Illinois is where I got pulled over, and it reminded me of a story that you'd said earlier this week, Otto. And with me, I was like a long hair. I used to always put Knox gelatin in my hair to look like Corn, the
Wow.
band. And,
Yeah.
And we were in this Toyota freaking truck with the camper on the back, the little red ones. And everybody was like dogpiled in the back, and we were heading from Kansas City back here to West Frankfort to visit my family. We had like maybe 10 people in this freaking truck, dude. And
Wow.
and everybody was had you know their pot and everything on them, but they knew where to stash them. And I had a pair of long johns underneath my pants, and they were cut off jeans. They were, you know, cut jeans, and inside the long johns, you know how they got that pouch where you can use the bathroom out of.
Right.
I took
Yeah.
freaking my pot, dude, and I shoved it down in there under my crotch.